Welcome to Bud Light customer service. You are currently number 4 in the queue. Please continue to hold.
Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. Today is the day I go live on Rumble. I hope that you'll join me. It's noon Central till 2 o'clock Central. So if you're catching this video, after you watch it, hop on over to Rumble. We've got a lot going on today. Bud Light has hit a new embarrassing low as massive layoffs are now hitting downstream, meaning all the companies that supply Bud Light, all the companies that depend on Bud Light to not screw up royally, now they're feeling the heat as more and more layoffs are happening, and it's just an absolute disaster all around, and I couldn't be more proud of all of you. So make sure you leave a like on this video to keep encouraging people to spread the word, as we're not done yet. We're not done until the CEO steps down. I've now changed my opinion on that. I think the CEO needs to step down, and there needs to be an apology made. I actually believe there is significant internal pressure on the CEO to step down, and that's why he's doing this worldwide press tour that's going absolutely disastrously. Again, I'll leave the link in the description to my Rumble live show. If you haven't yet, follow me over on Rumble. Make sure you do that. I mean, I would really appreciate it. The human cost of Bud Light's $20 billion Dylan Mulvaney fiasco, 2 bottling plants now forced to cut production and lay off 645 staff due to decline in demand for the troubled brand. Look, 645 full-time employees is a lot. That would indicate to me that there is a massive drop-off in demand. Not just a little bit, a ton of drop-off in demand. Bud Light sales have plummeted so much that a glass bottling company was forced to shut down 2 of its plants, 2 entire plants, and lay off nearly 650 people. The Arta Group, one of the world's largest producers in the world, announced last week it was shuttering its Wilson, North Carolina and Simsboro, Louisiana plants on July 17th. The Wilson plant employed nearly 400 people, and the Simsboro about 245, all of whom are now without a job. The company did not cite a reason for its closures in the statement, just saying that it was part of a multi-year performance optimization plan, but an investigation by WRAL found that Arta was forced to close its plants due to declining sales of Bud Light, one of its major contractors. The one-time beer giant has lost its reputation in America as America's top-selling beer amid a boycott from both leftists and conservatives over the partnership with controversial TikToker Dylan Mulvaney. Mulvaney, 26, recently slammed the company for not supporting them amid the backlash to the March Madness ad, prompting the beer company to double down on its support to the LGBTQIAZZQ+ community. Hey, by the way, happy July. We made it through June, everybody. Leave a like on the video. Only 11 more months till the next Pride Month. Well, they're all basically Pride months. Workers at both the North Carolina and Louisiana bottling plants said they have faced decreased production since Dylan's promotion was posted online in early April. Both plants were forced to put some of their machines offline amid decreased demand, which was, of course, being pointed towards the Bud Light situation. James Munhall, a journeyman machine repair mechanic, told WRAL. On a May 18th internal memo obtained by the news station, company executives said that it would shut down 2 plants due to slow sales within Anheuser-Busch InBev, the parent company of Budweiser and Bud Light. Now, I wonder why they're protecting them, to be honest with you. It's really weird, like why they're going out of their way to protect them. I'm not 1,000% sure why that would be the case. It's so weird. But this, of course, is that Bud Light is now cheaper than water at some retailers. Insert your own Bud Light water joke right there or in the comment section down below, as some stores report a 50% decline in sales year on year after marketing gimmick gone wrong. Well, I would say it's probably the worst marketing gimmick of maybe all time. Maybe New Coke was bad. I'm struggling to think of a worse backlash. I legitimately am. The idea that it's cheaper than water is pretty hilarious. Cases of Miller Lite, for instance, are flying off the shelves at a price of $24.99, far more than seriously marked down $8.99 that cases of Bud Light are now selling for. I've seen longtime Bud Light customers trying other beers, says Wagner. If they find something they like, they may not come back, and we've actually got more coming on that. It's not like they stopped drinking beer. They just stopped buying Bud Light. Wagner added that one of the cardinal bar rules in the beer industry is not getting political in the first place. No politics, no religion. I mean, if you've ever been to a local pub, that there are literally signs in many of them that say that. And it's like a well-known, I know it's like an older generation thing, but even I know no politics, no religion at the bar. It's forbidden. Sales of Bud Light, of course, continue to plummet, falling nearly 30% last week, the brand's worst week since the controversy began, and the situation appeared to be growing more dire headed into the 4th of July weekend. In addition to the meaningful faction of beer drinkers who have opted to boycott Bud Light over its limited partnership with Dylan Mulvaney, members of the LGBTQ community have also backed away from the brand over its lack of support for Mulvaney. This is why it's so great. Now, let's be honest, members of the LGBTQ community not buying Bud Light is not moving the needle. It is getting, however, negative headlines, and that's important too in terms of boycotting. You see, last week, Dylan blasted the brand for failing to reach out after the backlash. That was really the kind of the new low for them, really. Like, because Dylan hadn't spoken out about it at all. And it's been an interesting time since they did. Some gay bars have decided to boycott the beer over its apparent lack of support for Mulvaney and their community and so much more. And this is just what happens when you want to get political. That's the thing. And you go, here's from former executive, in terms of sales this week, this past weekend was the 4th of July for a lot of people. For me, it was because I'll be working. But Bud Light's battle already lost ahead of July 4th, former executive says. Former Anheuser-Busch executive Anson Frierichs hit out at the company over handling the ongoing fallout, of course, of the Dylan disaster. In an article for the British newspaper, the Daily Mail, Frierichs says the Bud Light battle has already been lost and called on the company's shareholders to ask Anheuser-Busch CEO Brendan Whitworth to step down. Before the Mulvaney promotion, Bud Light was America's most popular beer, but it recently lost the crown to Modelo Especial following the conservative boycotts, according to Forbes. The company that will hope that there will be a July 4th boost in sales, but according to Frierichs, the battle has already been lost. He said that the company's decision to hire Mulvaney to promote the Bud Light in an Instagram video earlier this year was, quote, ill-advised. The campaign was met with fury by conservatives and other right-wing anti-trans commentators. I don't really know who that is. Frierichs claimed that the decision to hire Mulvaney to promote Bud Light has cost the beer $20 billion in lost marketing. He added that this weekend is make or break. Sadly enough, the battle has already been lost. Well, the other thing, the number that you're not going to see reported is all the massive, massive increase in spending that they're going to have to do just to offset some of this. We're already seeing them basically giving their beer away. We're seeing them with this new America advertisements. We're seeing them, pump more money into supporting distributors. That's going to be also a part of the, the cost of all of this. Of course, the former executive hinted that Whitworth should not have been outmaneuvered by Dylan, who cut ties with the company and said it didn't support trans people. In a June 29th Instagram video, Dylan said for a company to hire a trans person and not publicly stand by them is worse than not hiring a trans person at all because it gives customers permission to be as phobic and hateful as they want. Dylan added that hate didn't end with me. It has serious consequences for the rest of our community. And actually, that video was pretty brutal. And, you know, Mr. CIA operative Whitworth, you know, there's a lot of, I'll allow the like, you know, you can get your noggin jogging. You can activate your almonds over, you know, how a former CIA operative ends up as the CEO of Bud Light. It's in such a short career with such limited business experience. It's pretty interesting. It just makes you think. That's all. It just makes you think. You know, of course, but Freerick's branded the companies as predictably weak and indecisive, talking about the CEO statements. Freerick's continued, what does it mean? Absolutely nothing. It would only deepen the chasm between the brand and its customers. As such, I take no pleasure in passing this judgment. It's clear to me that it's time for the shareholders and board of Anheuser-Busch to ask Whitworth to step down. He's calling on the board to ask Whitworth, this is a CEO of Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch, as done with a heavy heart, but that was important for Americans to understand how, in his view, the company's leaders could bungle its management and sacrifice countless jobs in the process. Right-wing consumers and celebrities slam Bud Light after the Instagram promotion, of course, we know. Now, if they actually get rid of them, if they get rid of Whitworth, that actually could reinvigorate people. I mean, that's a pretty big move. I'd say that's a pretty good faith move to your existing customers by saying, all right, we're getting rid of this person. They're fired. It could be interesting to see exactly how that shakes out. You know, I've been watching the InBev stock this morning. It's up about 50 cents. You know, I think that it probably has already hit its rock bottom unless something worse happens. You know, I think if the CEO steps down, that would probably be a positive impact on the shareholders, on the stock price, because people would, you know, perceive that as like, okay, they're doing something. They got rid of the CEO. Then that might finally push it out of the news cycle. But it's going to be interesting to say, you know, it's going to be interesting to see if that actually happens. It'll be curious. I mean, I think that the dude should probably step down, but it'll be a spicy few months. And the longer this stuff carries on, by the way, the longer, you know, sales will just continue to go. Like, it's going to be the talk of every 4th of July party this weekend. Anybody who dares to buy Bud Light or has to have it stocked for their party goers, they're gonna hear about it, you know, almost certainly, right? So it'll be interesting. We could talk more about it on the live stream, which starts at noon Central. This topic will be a little further down in the live stream since I've already done a standalone video on it. But I'll leave a link to the stream in the comment section down below and hope to see you there. And we'll talk to you again real soon.